RFMaker. Build radios and listen to the world.
Welcome to the RFMaker channel. Today I'm going to show you a low power 27 MHz mini CW beacon transmitter with a maximum output of 100 mW. Let's take a closer look. This is a simple stable multivibrator that performs the keying. This is the single transistor crystal oscillator stage. The next section is the power amplifier stage, where the signal is boosted to the final output power. And finally, the PI network for antenna matching. First, I will show you a live test. As you can see, I placed the small beacon in a forest and then I walk a few hundred meters away from it. The frequency in my setup is 27.076 MHz. The pulse beeping tone is clearly audible, and from this distance the signal strength is lower. I will speed up the video during the parts where I'm just walking, but I regularly check the radio. In my setup, the transmitter delivers around 30 to 40 mW of output power, because I selected the component values accordingly. The circuit that I will present shortly is capable of around 100 mW of output power, but at the level is already advisable to provide some cooling for the small final transistor. And finally, I'm slowly approaching the beacon. Yes, my lovely wife filmed me while I was filming this video. You can see that I placed the circuit inside a simple electrical junction box. The antenna is hung up on a tree and the counterpoise is spread out on the ground. It's a very simple solution, but it works really well. Now let's take a look at how the circuit works. The circuit consists of four main parts. The most important part is the oscillator. As you can see, this is a crystal-based oscillator. In this case, the crystal and the C4 capacitor determine the operating frequency. If you want to tune the frequency, you can use a variable capacitor at this point. The keying circuit is a simple stable multivibrator. If you don't want to key the transmitter, you can simply omit this section. With the help of R1 and D1, about 0.65 volts is applied to the emitter of the oscillator transistor, which forces the transistor into cutoff. The next stage is the power amplifier. It's very simple, but in this case it works well. If you want to adjust the output power of this amplifier, you can choose a different value for resistor R10, typically between 10 kΩ and 47 kΩ. And finally, this is a simple PI network. It has a dual purpose. First, it acts as a low-pass filter, and second, it matches the antenna to the circuit. The output impedance of the transistor at 27 MHz is about 118 ohms, and the quarter wave antenna has an impedance of about 36 ohms. You can download the simulation files from my GitHub channel. Let's take a look at the Manhattan style layout of the circuit. The size of the Manhattan pads is about 8 by 8 mm. The size of the complete circuit is about 7 by 7 cm. It's best to glue the small pads onto the baseboard using instant adhesive. The red line represents jumpers and all emitters are connected to the ground baseboard. Let's take a look at the packaging. In my case, it's a small electrical junction box that fits both the circuit and an 8-volt battery. I used 4 pieces of 1.5 square millimeter wire for the antenna and the counterpoise wires. But how do we calculate approximately 2.63 meters? Let's take a look. The wavelength is about 11 meters at the 27 MHz. In my case, it is slightly longer because the operating frequency is a bit lower than exactly 27 MHz. Since we are using a quarter wave antenna, we simply divide the wavelength by 4. But we still have something interesting here. There is also a so-called velocity factor. which is typically somewhere between 0.8 and 0.98 depending on many factors. In this simple case I chose a value of 0.95. The final length of the wires is about 2.63 meters. Let's have a little help with the coils. You can find many calculators on the internet for air core coils, but in simple cases it can easily be calculated using this formula. You can see that the wire diameter does not appear directly in the formula. That is true, but indirectly it does because it affects both the coil length and the overall diameter. In my case I used AWG 20 wire on a former of about 12 mm in a diameter. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe.